This is my windmill tutorial, I think. Yeah, windmill tutorial. Okay. First thing we got. So let's separate this into two separate parts. Yeah, two separate parts. Okay. First part is going to be the arms. Yeah, first part's going to be the arms. Second part's going to be the legs. So, the first part of the arms is going to be the collapse. Right. So, we're going to push roll. And so, make sure that you're mobile enough with your turtle to be able to do this. You should be able to rotate on your wrist. And the second part will be how to whip your legs while you're doing your windmill. So, let's do this. Okay. So, get into your turtle, but you don't have to leave your legs up. You can keep them on the floor. But get used to winding up like this. So you're gonna wind up until your wrist is about more than 90 degrees. So maybe right here. And then how it's gonna start is you're gonna use your left or non-stab arm to pull yourself. So you want to generate a lot of momentum by doing that. So you want to go pull. Get used to doing that. When you get to the max on your pull, well, not really, it depends on how you're going to do this, but you're going to start with the pull. You're going to pull, and then the next part is the collapse. So what's going to happen is you're basically going to do this. You're going to push against the ground and let yourself fall onto your elbow, but that's just the basic collapse. You'll clean it up because later on when you're adding the pull and the collapse, you're going to pull and collapse like this. The key to collapsing properly is bringing your elbow into your chest. So you're here, you're collapsing, but while you're collapsing, since you have that pull, you're going to end up bringing your elbow in instead of out here. If you don't bring it in, you're going to end up falling like that, and it's going to hurt, and you're not going to get any momentum. So that's the collapse part. A good way to practice this would be to just go here and try to get onto your shoulder with a good collapse. You should never bang your shoulder onto the ground. When you're collapsing, you're going to tuck your shoulder in so that it's a smooth fall. That way, you transfer as much momentum as possible from the whip into your windmill. When you're doing your actual windmills, make sure that you stay on your upper back. So this is when the legs are going to come in. I go clockwise, so my right leg is going to be the one that swoops under. So when I say swoops under, you pay attention to this leg, right? This one right here is going to go in and come up like that. And you see, when I did that, my arm starts to fall in. That's how the collapse works. The more that you swing this leg up, the more you're going to be able to get down to the floor easier. And at the same time, your left leg is going to go from here, it's going to go up during your collapse. Your left leg is what gives you height. Your right leg gives you circular momentum. So you want to make sure that you keep your legs wide so that you gain enough momentum and height to continue. So the next part of this would be collapsing and then just going into a back spin. So you're going to start in your turtle. You're going to whip, collapse, and your legs are going to go up. And the next part will be to maintain a good backspin out of that. So as an example, you're going to go wind up, and then you're going to go whip, collapse, legs. So you'll know that you get enough momentum if you can do a backspin out of your collapse. So that's the first part. When you do your backspin, try to stay on your upper back. Don't go onto your lower back, because then you're going to develop this injury called a hip pointer, where you keep hitting the back hip bone, and it's going to suck. So don't do that. Yeah. So you've gotten, let's make sure you practice the collapse, because if you don't do this properly, it's going to hinder your momentum by like, it's just going to hurt a lot. So now that we've gotten the collapse into the backspin, see how my legs are here, right? What you're going to do is you're going to try to bring this shoulder in. So your left shoulder is going to tuck in like this. So it's going to pull in. That way it forces your arm to come back into another stab. While you're doing that, another thing that you should be doing is rolling onto that left shoulder and kipping up with this. So you're going to have the stronger your hip kip is, the easier it'll be to get back to your stab. So starting from your turtle, you're going to wind, kick, collapse, kip, and get back onto your turtle. In a sense, you're kind of rolling back over your shoulder, but if you get enough momentum from the collapse, it won't even feel like a roll, you'll just feel like you're just going to turn around. So, to do one really good windmill, focus on the collapse, keeping your legs straight, and getting back onto a turtle without like stopping your momentum. Because if you want to do more than one windmill, what you have to do is you have to keep the momentum and learn how to kick properly so that the transition from the collapse and coming back to the turtle are both clean. If they're clean, then you can do multiple windmills. So focus on the first windmill. Remember, key points, you're going to collapse, bring your elbow in while you're collapsing, and that collapse should happen after this windup. So I'd say work on this first, and then work on collapsing out of that so that you get enough momentum to do a windmill. Yeah.